All right, we are up and we are running. My name is Jeremy Deysach, and I am a FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness. And this is the daily credit report. This is something that we do every night, Monday through Thursday. And now you may be looking at your watch, you're looking at your calendar and going, but Jeremy, today's Friday. Yes, I know it's Friday. But we normally do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time here in the free credit repair advice group. And just taking a look, making sure that everything is getting all set up. They go ahead and they tend to start these videos off for some reason lately as sales things or as something like that, which is a little bit bizarre. But we're going to get cranking on this. We're going to get started on this. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring you the from Las Vegas version I was going to be doing Monday night before I had those fantastic technical difficulties. So this is going to be tonight's topic. Don't gamble on your credit with FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Deysach. Here we go. All right. Yeah, that was my fancy dancy intro that I made of all the exciting stuff I did at Las Vegas, Nevada. But I wanted to talk to you guys tonight. So don't gamble on your credit, and I'm going to tell you all what I mean by that here in just 1 second. We're going to share this thing. We are going to do more options here. 1 second. Share to a group, free credit repair advice group. Oh yeah, I'm going to work around Facebook and we're going to make this thing happen for all of you tonight. All right. By the way, in the meantime, while I get this up, get this running, get this ready, if you would like to have me, FICO certified credit coach Jeremy Deysach, as your coach, all you need to do is go to the website right here at the bottom of the page, www.bookcoachjd.com. That's www.bookcoachjd.com. And you're going to be able to pick a day, an evening, or even a Saturday morning. And what you're going to have the ability to do with that is you're going to be able to pick a time that's dedicated to you, for you and I to talk. And what are we going to talk about? Well, I'll tell you, we're going to talk about your credit. We're going to talk about your goals, and we're going to put together a plan and steps and action items to get your credit score and your credit profile in position for all the goals that you might have. So again, go to www.bookcoachjd.com and pick a time that works for you. I'd love to be your coach. I'd love to have that one-on-one relationship with you. Make a plan that's custom tailored to your goals, custom tailored to your needs, and get that plan together, put it into place so that you're able to hit all those goals you've got. www.bookcoachjd.com. All right, so tonight's topic, don't gamble on your credit. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by don't gamble on your credit? Do I mean don't take that check, that stimmy, the stimmy check? Don't take your stimmy and run off to Las Vegas with it, or don't take and maybe throw it at something that's an unknown, an uncertainty. Or maybe I mean don't just go out and piss that money away. What I kind of mean is a little bit of all of this. Okay, when I say don't gamble with your credit, I mean a few things. The first thing I actually mean is there are so many different sources for credit information out there. And I'm not going to start with talking about spending money. I'm not going to talk about hiring Credilife or anybody for that matter. I'm going to start out by talking about things that you're able to do yourself, because that's why a lot of you are here in the free credit repair advice group. It's to figure out what can I do myself to get my credit score, my credit profile in a better position so I qualify for all the goals I've got in my life. Okay, great question, great thing to think about. So When I'm saying don't gamble with your credit, I'm talking about being very, very careful of the sources that you get credit information from. Okay, there are a lot of sources. There are almost infinity sources out there. I'm telling you, there are realtors who will give you info, and bankers and lenders, and Susie Flippin Orman, and you got Dave Ramsey out there blabbing his frickin' mouth saying credit's the devil, credit's evil, and that he never used credit and all those things. Meanwhile, this a-hole's got 2 bankruptcies under his belt, and he'll sell you his program for 3 easy payments of $39.99 on a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. There are lots of groups on Facebook, different groups with real fancy sounding names, some of them, and they're gonna, they're have people in them worship like damned cults, okay? And these are people who have no business giving credit advice. They're not trained. They're not qualified. In fact, what I enjoy doing is I enjoy here this meme. See, this is the majestic portal where other credit groups that aren't sponsored by Credilife find their information. Okay, and I bet you guys are probably in 1, 2, or 3 of those types of groups where you'd go, yep, they find their stuff in the toilet. And you figure that out once you get to Credilife's group. So the free credit repair advice group, the group you were wise enough to discover, or you were invited to by somebody who cares for you, or you stumbled on just out of who knows how you got here. It doesn't matter. You're here now. Okay. The free credit repair advice group. Every administrator in this group that you're in right now, including myself, is a FICO certified credit coach. We are actually certified in the FICO algorithm. That's the math formula that makes your FICO score, that makes your credit score. So when we're telling you, hey, you should open this account or close this account or pay this thing down or pay this off or do it at a different time every month or only spend that much or only handle it like this, we're not telling you these things because we heard it online in a group and it sounded good, or because someone has repeated it over and over and over and over and it's come down the line. Everything we tell you to do is done specifically in conjunction with the FICO algorithm. And you may notice that we are extremely blunt, direct, and a little bit cocky. There's a good reason for that. We know the actual answers. So if you say, hey, I heard you're supposed to do this, and we go wrong, and you go, well, it works for me, wrong. And you hear us say things like, we don't teach it worked for me. In this group, we teach best practices in conjunction with the FICO algorithm. When you hear us say things like that, it's not to be snide, it's not to be mean, it's not to be know-it-all or I told you so. It's because we care enough to volunteer our time for 70,000 people here in the free credit repair advice group to make sure that you're getting good, safe, compliant information that's correct in conjunction with the FICO algorithm. There are no 2 ways to skin this cat. There's only one right way to do any of this credit repair. And the only right way is to do it in conjunction with the FICO algorithm. So item number 1, when I say don't gamble with your credit, be careful where you're getting your information from. Think of it like getting a tip on a horse. Be careful if there's a horse race, you're thinking about gambling on that horse, be careful where you're getting your tip from. Does that person who's giving you the tip have an interest in you going one way or another? Does that person who's giving you the tip have credentials? Are they an actual expert in their field, or are they a self-proclaimed expert? Do they have licensure? Do they have bonding? It's the same thing with credit tips. Are they licensed? There's licenses required to be a credit professional. Are they bonded? There are $1 million bonding requirements to be a credit professional. Are they FICO certified? Are they certified in the algorithm that creates the FICO score? If the answer to that is no, you're gambling with your credit score. And if you want to look your children in the eye tonight and say, hey, sweetie, I know you'd love to have your own bedroom. I know this 2-bedroom apartment for the 5 of us is kind of rough. I know you'd like to have your own safe backyard to play in, but I'm going to listen to information from someone called, Shiny Mick Shininess or whatever, some goofy ass made up name. I'm going to listen to them in some Facebook group that I heard of, and they don't have any credentials, but gee, a lot of people say they're good. I'm going to bet your future on that, okay? I want you to tell me what your kid's going to say back to you when you look them in the eye. If you can't look your children in the eye and say, look, mommy, daddy is doing this thing and I'm listening to this person and I'm putting your future in the hands of this person. If you can't do that confidently, you're gambling with your credit. You're getting the info from the wrong place. You should be getting it from somewhere like the free credit repair advice group that you're in right now. You can look your kid in the eye and go, I'm getting this from FICO certified, licensed and bonded credit professionals. You can feel good about that. You're not gambling with your credit. So don't gamble with your credit. Number one, be careful where you get your info from. Be careful to the guru of the gurus you're listening to. Even be careful of me. Be careful of the other coaches. Make us prove it, man. Make us put our money where our mouth is. Ask us about our credentials. Make sure that we're good. Is the person you've been listening to, are they A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? We are. Don't gamble with your credit. That's number one. Number two, this year, you've been given, many of you, most of you have been given an economic windfall. You've been given stimulus checks, literally checks that all you have to do is fog a mirror to prove you're breathing and alive, right? All you have to do is exist, and the federal government is sending checks to you. Now, you could do a lot of things with those checks. You could go to Vegas. I was in Vegas. You could go to Vegas and you could literally gamble it. You could buy a new flat screen TV. You could take a trip because you've been pent up for a while. Or you could put those checks to use for you. You could tuck some of the money away for settlements when you get things to. You could buy some stamps and some paper. And if you don't own a printer, buy a printer with some of that money, and you could do investigation letters to the bureaus challenging the info that's on your credit. Because as you know, if you've hung out in this group for any period of time, none of the data on your credit report, not a lick of it, that negative stuff, that bad stuff that's on there, not one bit of it has ever been verified, validated, or documented to prove that it's accurate and factual and current and correct and verifiable as of today. Not back when it happened, but today. So upon demand, there are laws in place, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that require those companies on demand to prove it. You can say to them, prove it or remove it. Prove it or remove it. If you can't prove it, you must remove it. Use some of that money to attack your credit report. Pay for credit reporting service. Go on www.smartcreditvip.com. Here, let me give you a banner. You don't even have to remember it. I want you to go to smartcreditvip.com. That's a great credit monitoring. It's $22 a month. If they sent you $1,400, you can afford it. It's $22 a month. It's going to give you a full 3-bureau report, really complete, every month with all the data you need to do an investigation. Go ahead and open that son of a gun up for yourself. Go through it and do the letters. Where am I going to find letter templates? Where am I going to find letter templates? Well, conveniently enough, Jeremy, who you're listening to, just tapped on the top of the group, the announcements section, the tab of the group. I went ahead and I put in the announcements an article I wrote called Pro Tip. It's a step-by-step set of instructions for a self-directed credit repair for free for you. This is not you're paying Credilife. Again, you're not paying anyone for this stuff. This is free for you. These are high-quality letters. I know that. I wrote them myself. They work. So there's templates. There's all that in there for you. I want you to invest in yourself. Get some postage. If you don't have a printer, get a printer. If you don't have a cheap laptop, get a cheap laptop to hook to the printer. And you're going to do these investigation letters, and you're going to seek deletion. And once these things are deleted, what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to settle these things with the money you tucked aside. Hold on one second. All right, you're going to settle the debts with the money you tucked aside. But the order is going to be this. You're not settling. You're not trying to pay for delete or anything like that. You're going to get these deleted through the investigation process, and then you're going to settle on the debts. Why are you going to do them in that order? Because that's best practice. Best practice with the FICO algorithm, best practice in credit repair and credit restoration. And I don't want you to gamble on your credit. I want you to use the best practices. I want you to use what works, period. And that is what works. So step one, you're not going to gamble on where you're getting the information. You're not going to listen to the Warriors Club of whatever 700 plus club, and you're not going to listen to these other stupid groups full of people who are not trained, not licensed, not bonded, certainly not A plus with the Better Business Bureau, and not certified in FICO. Okay, I mean you're not going to listen to these idiots. You're going to listen to actual professionals. Okay, that's number one. You're not going to gamble where you're getting your info from. Number two, you're not going to gamble the stimulus money away. In fact, you're going to take some of it, you're going to put it aside to use for settlements when the time comes, but you're going to use best practices. You're going to verify, validate, and investigate in writing to these credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. You're going to use pro tips. That's the article at the top of the free credit repair advice group. You're going to use that to guide you because that's compliant step-by-step instructions that are done by professionals for you to have success. So number one, we're not going to gamble on where we're getting the info from. Number two, we're not going to gamble on the procedures and use up our stimmy money. We're not going to gamble on the procedures or use up our stimulus money in our path to credit recovery. Now I'm going to give you the next thing that we don't want to gamble our credit on. I want to give you the next thing about gambling our credit. Gambling on your credit, not gambling on your credit. I want to give you the next step about that literally. Well, heck, right after this.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There's the answer code.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, so we're back again. We're talking about don't gamble on your credit. They say whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's not necessarily true. A couple things can come home with you. One of them is probably an STD, so be careful out there. But the other one is bad credit. I saw countless people going up to the ATMs, the same thing you put the little, when I'm betting my pennies because I'm a credit coach and I'm cheap and conservative, right? So I'm only betting my pennies. When I'm betting pennies on my slot machine, the thing that you put if you do win the pennies, you put the little piece of paper into the machine and it spits out your money, right? I'm seeing people walking up there, not with their debit cards. I'm seeing them walk up with the credit cards, and I'm seeing them taking cash advances out to stay on their roll, to keep playing. All right, they're taking cash advances on their Visa and their MasterCard, their Discover, their American Express, and they're paying a cash advance fee, and they're paying the 32% cash advance rate. Those people they're not gambling on their credit, okay? They've already lost at that point in time. The second you put that credit card in, the second you take cash advances, you already lost that gamble. But we're talking about gambling on our credit. So the first thing we want to do, we want to be careful where we're getting the information. Only get the information from groups like the Free Credit Repair Advice Group that are sponsored by Credilife, run by FICO certified professional, licensed, bonded, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau credit coaches. So where you get your information is very, very important. The second thing is the procedures you use. There's no quick fixes, right? No, you're going to do something like this. You're going to go to the announcement section of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group or the files section of the Free Credit Repair Advice Group, and you are going to look at the file that's there called Pro Tips. I went ahead and I put that in announcements for you, and that's a step-by-step written by professionals. Myself, written by FICO certified credit professionals. It's a step-by-step set of directions to a proper, compliant, conforming, and permanent credit repair. So you're going to follow that. You're going to use your stimulus money to buy yourself a printer so you can do these letters in writing. If you haven't got a cheap little laptop, get a cheap little laptop to use with your printer. Use your stimulus money for that. Use some of it for postage and do this right, because if you do it right, you only have to do it once. So those are two of the things. Be careful where you're getting your information from, right? Who you're listening to, and then make sure you're following a plan that's proven to get results in conjunction with the FICO algorithm. So, how else can we not gamble on our credit? Well, I talked to a gentleman today. I'm not going to name his name, but I talked to you. If you're watching, you know who you are. I talked to a gentleman today who had hired multiple people to be a credit repair person for them. And the multiple people, they didn't have a big organization. It was one person, and they were cheap at first, and then he had to purchase some trade lines, and he had to do some other things, and all in all, he ended up not any better than he started. But by the time everything was said and done, this cheaper option cost him a little over $5,000. And dude, yeah, I'm sharing your story. I promise I won't name your name, so you don't. But please let me use this to help people, so people understand what we're up against out there. And you learned. You said it the best today when you said you wish financial literacy was taught in schools, specifically in some of these athletic programs where kids do, sometimes come into quick money. And it's good to have these financial literacy programs. So, but anyway, what I'm going to tell you is, if you hire somebody to help you with your credit repair, with your credit coaching, with your credit restoration, make sure the person you're hiring is the right person. Don't gamble on your credit with someone who has a Gmail or a Yahoo for an email address, right? Don't gamble with your credit for someone who is all by themselves and they're working out of the kitchen table. Don't gamble with your credit on someone who's trying to have you do something sort of weird. I mean, hey, pay this person. They're going to put you on their credit card. That's going to raise your score. I got a magic trick here. It's only good. Don't gamble on your credit. First of all, if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. I'm going to tell you, real credit repair, it's a process. It takes some time. You didn't get into credit trouble overnight. You don't get out overnight. But if you want it done right the first time, you do it that way. Again, this is something where I say use Credilife, but there are some other good credit companies out there too. Just make sure they have an infrastructure. Just make sure they're licensed. Just make sure they're bonded. Just make sure they're at least A-rated. Credilife is A+, but make sure they're at least A-rated with the Better Business Bureau. Make sure they have FICO certified credit professionals. Make sure their email address is the name of the company. Make sure their company has an address. Look at something like Credilife. We got people in Florida, in Chicago. We got our corporate offices in Minneapolis. We got people in Denver, Colorado, Oregon. We got people in the Philippines because we couldn't find anybody that we were overly impressed with in Hawaii, but that time zone is now covered. We got people all over to make sure we're always there for our clients. If a company can't provide something like that and you're thinking of paying them to fix your credit, congratulations, you're gambling with your credit. You're gambling with your future. You're gambling with looking little Susie or Timmy or whomever, your child in the eyes, and going, okay, mommy or daddy, we're going to spend some money. We're going to try to get you into this new house, but I'm going to try to maybe be cheaper. Or this person said they had a little magic trick they like to do, or something. I'm going to gamble your future on no, don't do it. We're not gambling. Only do things that have known results. I don't advise any of my clients. If I'm your coach, I don't advise you to do anything that I don't already know what the exact result will be. Okay? It's not that I'm brilliant when it comes to credit. It's just I know that if you do this, then I know math. I know that 2 + 2 = 4. So I'm trying to put the twos together so you can get 4 as your result. That's all it is. And that goes for me. That goes for Chris. That goes for Mark. That goes for Rick. That goes for all of the coaches at Credilife. We're all like that. That's how we all are. There's no magic to this. But if you do decide to hire someone, make sure you're not gambling your money on them. Make sure you're hiring somebody who's knowledgeable, competent, trained, licensed, bonded, and it's a company with a reputation and some depth to it. Okay. So that's 3. So what do we got? Number 1 was careful where you're getting your information, or as I always like to put my little, I call it an infographic. I like to put up my little infographic about the Majestic portal where other credit groups that aren't sponsored by Credilife get their information. So you want to be careful about what groups you're getting your data from. You want to make sure that the info you're being given is compliant, that the people, the gurus you're listening to, are the Jedi's, the Jedi Masters. There we go, the Jedi Masters that you're listening to. That their knowledge is based on something like the FICO algorithm. That it's based on actual training, actual experience. And if you hire a company, if you do hire someone to help you with your credit, to help you get your score and your profile in position for your goals, you should make sure that you're hiring a company with reputation, a company with standing, that's licensed, that's bonded, maybe has, I don't know, maybe FICO certified credit coaches who are so attractive their face should be on everything. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. But it's important to hire people, if you're going to go that route, that you're not gambling on your credit with. This is the message I had for you. It's not I don't have a magical class I'm teaching tonight and stuff. I just want you guys to think we're coming into lots of money. Tax refunds, people, if you haven't got your tax refunds yet, you're about to have that. I can't believe, we've got tax refunds. We have got, here we go. We got tax refunds, right? We got stimulus checks. We've got all these things that are, it's like money falling from the damn sky at this point in time. And it's a once in a lifetime thing. And this is your opportunity. Don't gamble with it. Yes, you want to take a trip because you've been pent up. Yes, it sucks. I know I've been pent up and it sucked for me too. And I finally tagged in because I'm in Minnesota where the air gets so cold it hurts your skin, right? But my credit's in good shape, so I can do it. I'm there already. If your credit's not in good shape, please, for the love of God, don't gamble with it. Use it right. Use it smart. If you do your own self-driven credit repair, go to the files section of the free credit repair advice group. Go up to the announcements section and use pro tips. It'll give you a step-by-step set of instructions with links to free templates. And they're professionally written templates. I wrote them. I know they're professionally written. They're professionally written templates that you can use, and please use them. If you're not hiring Credilife, if you're not hiring professionals, at least do it yourself. Do something. Get up. Do it. Don't gamble with your credit. Don't assume that things are going to get better. Don't give your money to some, God knows who, and look your little daughter or your little son in the eyes and say, "Oh, I'm taking great steps for." No, don't gamble with this stuff. It's way too important to gamble with. Hey, Tyler, good to see you. I saw a quick little good evening in there. And then Chris, thanks a lot. That's my link. By the way, I'll put in a plug for myself. If you would like to have me as your coach, I do have some openings. I had some people graduate the program and they're ready to go. They're buying houses. I mean, it's so awesome. That's the thing. Every time I do my job right, a kid gets a backyard to play in. I'm a dad. First and foremost, I'm a dad. I have 7 kids, okay? And to me, nothing's more important than getting a kid their own room that they can decorate how they want, or getting their own backyard they can play in. They're safe. They have a swing set. They got a trampoline. Maybe they got a sandbox. They can ride their bikes out on a back patio, and you don't have to worry about them. And they're safe, and they can run around. You have it fenced in, and it's a good place for them. Every time I do my job right, a kid gets a backyard to play in. That is my singular motivation as a credit coach. Okay. So if you would like to have me as your coach, all you have to do is go to the link that Chris put up there, the www.bookcoachjd.com. It's scrolling across the bottom, and you can pick a day, you can pick an evening, you can even pick a Saturday morning, whatever works for you. And you're connecting right into my calendar. You're not waiting for a call back, anything like that. You're actually acquiring your own time. And what happens is we take some time and we do a phone call, and I ask the same questions of everybody. What's going on with your credit? What are your goals, and what prompted you to reach out? And then we put together a plan and steps and action items to get your score and your profile in position for your goals. www.bookcoachjd.com. Now, if any of you have credit questions right now, if any of you have a question that you'd like, I want you to go ahead, throw it in the comments section. Put your credit question in the comments section so I can read it. I can answer it directly to you right now. Go ahead and put it in there, and I'm going to answer any of them right after this.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
All right, we are back. Taking a look. Looks like we don't really have any questions right now in the comment section. I know that for whatever reason, Facebook's changed around some of their algorithm stuff, so the videos aren't having the reach that they normally do. So what's kind of kooky is a lot of times later on, people will be able to watch this video back. So if you're watching, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, on Credit TV. Go ahead and hit like. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button, as they always say, and make sure you follow us. I'm on every Monday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. If you're following the free credit repair advice group, same thing. Give me some likes. Let me know you're here. Let me know these topics are relevant. And you can follow me every Monday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. Today is a little bit of a one-off because it is a Friday, but I was out of town, so I'm making sure that we have got the opportunity to answer anything tonight. So since there don't seem to be any questions, if you are watching this as a rerun, if you're watching this later on tonight, tomorrow, whenever, go ahead and still ask your question in the comment section. And what I'm going to do, here, ask any questions that you might have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back even throughout the weekend. I'm going to check and I'll make sure that I do answer your questions in a comment format so that you guys do get to take advantage of that. So, long story short, to wrap this up, don't gamble with your credit, you guys. Make sure you're only listening to groups that are, not garbage. There's no other way to say it. And Tyler, by the way, Tyler's watching us on YouTube. It's awesome to see you out there, Tyler. So we do have people both places watching us. But make sure that any groups like the free credit repair advice group on Facebook that you're in here, the one that we run, make sure the groups that you're a member of that you get your information from are high quality, that they're FICO certified people, they're licensed professionals. Make sure you're getting info from a good source. Don't gamble with your credit. Make sure the people, the gurus you're listening to, are qualified to be telling you the things that they're telling you, and that their methods are tried and true. And any things that they put out there for you to follow are going to be best practice and compliant with the FICO algorithm as well. Don't gamble with your credit. And if you do decide to hire a professional, make sure that any professional you hire is part of a real company, a real licensed company, a real bonded company of professionals. They've got an office, they've got branches, they've got email addresses that don't end in yahoo.com, things like that. Don't gamble with your credit. Hey, we've got Tasha. Tasha is asking a question. Tasha Isaac says, my student loans total about $4,000, but they were in default for about 5 years. I've been making payments and now they're in good standing. Should I pay them off or keep making payments to build my credit history? Truthfully, this is my thing. They were in bad shape. You've got some bad history tied to them. I personally, without seeing the rest of your credit, I personally would probably go with pay them off sooner rather than later, because then once skin is out of the game, you'll be able to investigate and seek deletion of the old negatives on that. Now, your thought process is right on having it make payments. Now, if these suckers have changed hands, if the bad was with Great Lakes and now it's with Navient, or the bad was with US Servicing and now it's with Great Lakes or whatever, then my advice is different. Then make those on-time payments every month until it's paid off to develop that history. But if the servicer on those loans now is the same servicer as when it was bad, I would pay it off. Then I'd do investigations seeking deletions, and I'd start with some fresh stuff that doesn't have a negative history. And that, Tasha, is a fantastic question. I thank you for asking that tonight. That's a great one. if no one else has any other questions, I'm going to wrap it up. It is Friday night. I know, as exciting as it is to listen to a credit guy, you guys probably have other things you want to do too. I'm probably going to throw a video or two up in here tonight in case you do want to watch some info video. I'll do one on maybe a self-driven credit repair and just a couple other things. And Tasha, you are so welcome. Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And again, remember, you can catch me every Monday night, every single Monday. And yes, I know today isn't Monday, it's Friday. I get that. I'm not that oblivious. I really am kind of like, I'm usually about that much oblivious, but I'm not completely oblivious. So I know it's Friday, but normally catch me Monday nights, every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific for the Daily Credit Report. It is a wrap-up of what's going on in credit. It is credit education. I answer your credit questions, different topics each week. And again, if you'd like to have your very own shiny, bald-headed credit professional, you can have a consultation with me. You can book a consult. I got some space right now, too. I had 29 people, I think it was, graduate. I think it was 29. I don't know. I put the number in the group. I had a number of people graduate. They bought houses and stuff. They're there. They got their goals. And so I've got some space free because I cap how many people I'm going to work with because I want to make sure everyone's getting service. So if you'd like to have me as your coach, this is the opportunity. Go to www.bookcoachjd.com. You can see it scrolling across the bottom, www.bookcoachjd.com, and you can pick a day, an evening, or even a Saturday morning that works for you out of my calendar. And what we're going to do is I always ask the same three questions. I always ask, so what's going on with your credit? What are your goals? And what prompted you to reach out? Then we put together a plan and steps and action items that'll get your credit score and your credit profile in position for all the goals that you've got. That's www.bookcoachjd.com. Once again, my name is Jeremy Deysach. I am a FICO certified credit coach with Credilife Financial Wellness, reminding you don't gamble with your credit, and looking forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Today, everything is impacted by credit, so it's absolutely vital to understand how credit works in order to achieve financial freedom.
This is why we started Credilife, so that we can empower others to shift their money mindset and access better investment and credit opportunities.
We want to maximize your buying power and allow you to take control of your financial future. With our programs and strategies, we can expedite the process of improving your credit profile and credit score.
Despite what many believe, how we manage our money is far more important than how much money we make.
A lot of people are concerned about their ability to qualify for a mortgage, lowering their interest rates, or just managing their debt.
Through our coaching programs and our trademark Credit Builder Blueprint, our clients not only save money and lower their interest rates, but learn how to get out of debt and finally achieve peace of mind.
We don't just support our clients' financial goals, we educate and empower them to create long-term strategies.
If you're trying to buy a home, start a new business, get a loan, get out of debt, or just want to improve your credit score, visit us online and fill out the contact request form.